All right, it's time. Guess the lines. Week 1, 2024. And because gambling lines are so omnipresent, and I don't know how I do it, but I genuinely avoid them all through the summer. And then once we got to like about 8-9 days ago, I was like, not only do I want to see the lines because I want to bet a couple things early, but I know I'm going to end up seeing them. So I sent you a bunch of guesses. So
tell us specifically why you had to see him, because you're like, I gotta bet against the Patriots. That Bengals teaser isn't going to be there much longer.
I wanted to put the Pats in the tease. The preseason made me so bad. I'm betting against them in week 1. And by the way, I feel no guilt about it. I want the Pats to be bad this year. Anyway, every year since 2007, so this is our 18th year together, we've been guessing the lines. This started in, you started even earlier than me. What was it with Darren?
I did with the parlay kid. Yeah, we used to do it in college. He used to hide in the closet so his girlfriend, now wife, didn't hear him talking gambling. But yeah, so now here we are, 18 years
so when
later,
I moved to LA in 2002, we had desks next to each other in the Jimmy Kimmel Live offices, which are still there. And then week 1, we got the USA Today's out. We did guess the lines. And then I left the show and we would just do it on the phone.
Right.
And I think I have in a column from somewhere, I was like, this would be the greatest radio show, me and Sal guessing the lines. I sound like I'm insane. But when I got the podcast in 2007, that fall, we immediately started with Guess the Lines.
Yeah, you said greatest radio show. I was like, no, podcast. You're like, what is that?
I'm like, what?
And then I explained to you. I was like, look, it's going to turn out good for you. So, all right.
So this podcast has a lot of history. We've done it all over the place. It was the podcast that got me suspended from ESPN for 3 weeks, which I'm still mad about. 10-year anniversary coming up. Anyway, we guess the lines. I usually win. I don't know. Remember the last time you've won?
I don't know. This is,
it's not
I
about
haven't beaten
winning
you in a while. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm ready though. I lost a lot on college football yesterday. Screw you, Texas.
Oh, good.
A&M.
Congrats.
Yeah. So it's like when you overeat appetizers and you still have like a strip steak coming. It's like, all right, I'll put it away, but let's do it.
Thursday night, opening night in Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs are playing the Baltimore Ravens. And I guessed -4 for this game. And what did you have?
I had -4 as well. And it's -3. So we tie. Should we stop now? We just tied.
Well, so what are the reasons? Why do you think this dropped? What do you think happened?
This Thursday game was almost always an automatic 4 for the favorite, for the incumbent, and now it's like, your team kind of ruined it. You beat the Chiefs on the road, or the Chiefs beat you on the road, right? Patriots was a Thursday night game years ago. Last year, it was 3.5 against the Lions, and they lost the Chiefs. So it's obviously not the end of the world, but I don't know why there would be a lot of Ravens backers here. Exactly.
The last 4 years, they kind of started messing around with it in the late 2010s. And then this decade, they've gone back to having the Super Bowl champ host the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit beat KC by 1 last year. Buffalo killed the Rams 31-10. The Bucks beat Dallas by 2, but did not cover. And that was a really fun game. And then KC in 2021 beat Houston 34-20. They're the only team that's covered in the last 4 years.
Right.
So this used to be an automatic. Something shifted. I guess the question for me is Ravens revenge game, or should we be worried about the Ravens game? Because it feels like it's going one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, that's my only thing with the Chiefs over wins and 1 seed. Like they now know they can win on the road. They now know they don't have to win the first game. They could be like, 11-6 after. So nothing really bothers them, but you're right. This is a test for the Ravens. If they get beat up here, you think, wow, that's a tough AFC North they have to go through after this.
Do you think this is the last chance this week to grab Mahomes futures? Almost like when, whatever that Amazon day is, or when you go on some website, it's like 50% off next 2 days, and then everything goes back to full price, and you go back there, or you go in a store, and it's like, oh, fuck, I should have gotten that shirt. Because all the Mahomes, the MVP, anything involving him is the best price you're ever going to get right now.
Yeah. And he has 1 billion primetime games. I think we said they play every day of the week except Wednesday this year. So yeah, you're right. His visibility is higher than anybody else's. So what is it still? Plus 450. Usually get 6-1 for MVP.
Yeah, you've said this every year that just bet Mahomes for MVP. It's basically like a mutual fund.
That's right. Yeah, it'll win.
Friday night, we're going to Brazil.
Wow.
There's some weird internet rumors about this game over the weekend that it might be canceled because of the smog that then turned out to be misinformation. Go figure.
Oh, really?
But we have the Eagles and the Packers on a Friday night in Brazil. The NFL has crossed a line that they always said they would never cross. We never want to go against high school football. Right. Friday night is sacred. We're never going to do it. And
Goodell's imperialism. He's like, F this. We waited around, you high school kid. You can play Wednesday if you want.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, he's basically Goodell is Ted DiBiase now.
Right.
He's like, everyone's got a price. Friday night, 8:00 in Brazil. Cut me a check. Like, do you think the NFL will play a game in Abu Dhabi in the next 3 years? Because my bet would be yes.
Maybe not 3, but yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they'd have to figure it out. That's
because I heard the Team USA played 2 games over there and got like $40 million for the Team USA program. Those 2 basketball games they played. The boxing's going over there all the time. UFC, like anywhere in the Saudi Arabia. And I just, at some point, Goodell's not going to be able to turn it down.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Well, I mean, so the Europe thing, we know for sure they're trying to get a team in there, right? Probably
or like a little 4-team division or
like
something. Yeah, something's going on.
Doing that with South America too? Are we gonna? Is that because then I would think Abu Dhabi might just be a waste. But
it should be a straight paycheck.
Just
they're
one
like,
game.
Here's $300 million for one game. Anyway, Eagles, Packers, and my pick was Eagles -1.5 over the Packers. What'd you have?
I went slightly higher. I said 2, and it's 2.5.
So you hit that one. Okay.
Listen, I always win the first week, and it doesn't matter. But I want Big Dom. I don't know if Big Dom's ready for the handle the hooliganism in Brazil. The Eagles, remember the security guy? He's back. He get like
he's back.
A raise. He got like promoted or something.
Got a slap on the swollen wrist, and he's back.
It's like assistant GM or something crazy now.
I thought the more I stared at this game, and the only reason I could see the Eagles being -2.5 was they're pretty good and they're 6-0 in their last 2 Septembers. And Green Bay's got banged up running backs people are worried about. Other than that, I have these 2 teams even in my head. And I don't know why this isn't a pick 'em. I know I'm going to end up talking myself into the Packers. I think there's some tease stuff with them, maybe bringing them back to +8.5, but this would violate my rule I told you I was going to do 5 days ago is don't bet on any of these fucking games. I read this story about A.J. Brown was saying, like, I'm just not leaving my hotel room. I'm not leaving the entire time we're there. Like, weird shit happens when you go to these countries. So I don't, these are hard to bet on.
This is a bad deal for Philly, especially if they lose, obviously. But I don't know. You want to give up one of your home games and go to Brazil against a good team to start off? I mentioned Texas A&M, but it's like, hey, watch what everybody's doing. They're 40-point favorites, all these college powerhouses. Just don't play anyone good the first couple of weeks.
Right.
But don't play in Brazil.
Our Sunday marquee game. Oh, by the way, Brazil banned Twitter.
Right. That was
so anyone who covers this game won't be able to tweet. So I don't know how we're all going to survive.
How are we going to find out what happens?
I mean, it's no way. Now I'm going to have to actually watch the game instead of Twitter. Sunday marquee game could have gone in a lot of directions, but it's your team.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady's announcing for the first time ever.
Right.
It's Deshaun Watson against Dak. There's injured guys on both sides. Cleveland's not going to have Nick Chubb. They're not going to have a left tackle. They might have more offensive line injuries. You don't have Bland. Cleveland's D was really good at home last year. 13.9 points per game at home. 29.6 on the road. Your team has a big bullseye on it. Everyone's talking.
Always. Yep.
And I think it's the marquee game. Right?
That's fine. I'll take that.
There
are some others I'm interested in, but yeah.
In Cleveland, Browns, Cowboys. And I have the Cowboys favored by 1.5 over the Browns.
Well, I hit this exactly. You forgot to implement the Cowboys tax. You'll remember. It's 2.5, and I said 2.5. But you just got to think the big money isn't coming in on the Browns just yet, even at home. I think that's fair. 2.5. Although I could see Cleveland stealing this too.
Here's the problem with betting Cleveland. Well, A, they're not going to be able to run the ball, but you're like, no, Browns home dog round one, and then Deshaun sails his first pass over somebody's head, and you're like, what did I do? He's just walking off. To me, this is a stay away. I don't know what to make either of these teams. I don't think I would be betting on this game. I'll be watching
so
it.
Bad. It's so bad because I obviously have to defend my Cowboys against people like you and Hench, and just cannot see that the regular season is different from postseason. But whatever. And then I have Cleveland to win that division, so I'm gonna bind either way here. But go Cowboys.
Yeah, you boxed yourself in.
Yeah,
Cowboys -2.5. Okay, the watchables. I got 3 legit watchable games. Now, granted, we have a Friday and a Thursday and a Monday game, so we're a little slate. But first one. It's in Buffalo. The Bills are playing the Cardinals. And I can't wait to watch this game. I think the Cardinals are going to be super fun to watch. The Bills, Milano's out. Secondary's banged up. Seems like a nice spot. I keep staring at that Arizona plus 215. But when I had to guess this, I guess Bills 5.5 over the Cardinals. What'd you have?
You got it exactly. I said 6.5. This is the Hail Murray rematch, right? Wasn't that no Hopkins on this team anymore. But yeah, this is a fun one. And I feel like we've grown up because I think we would have been like, oh, teaser. No doubt about it. Buffalo, let's do it.
No way. Yeah, no. Either you're teasing the Cardinals or you're just taking the money line, I think, for this one. And also, fully admit, you take Cardinals and whatever, and then it's like, and the Bills, we're back in Buffalo. The Bills are up 27-0.
Right.
Josh Allen has 2 touchdowns. He's also thrown for 2.
Yeah.
And 11, like, what did I do?
11 inches of snow somehow first week in September. No one can understand it.
Yeah, I feel like that line's going to go down. I think that goes down to 4.5 by the time we get to
could see that.
To Sunday. But that's going to be a really fun one. A lot of fantasy guys in that game too. Next one is a great game. Could have been in the discussion for the marquee. Texans, Colts. We are going to Indianapolis for this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked the Colts -1.
Yeah, you were off on this one.
I was way off. Yeah,
I said Texans by 1.5, and even I was off. It's Texans -2.5.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? I made this pick 8-9 days ago, and since then there's been just a lot of Texans buzz, including on our podcast, and it was a bad pick by me.
Colts are 0-9-1 their last 10 week 1 games. Not sure if that matters for this, but
0-9-1.
0-9-1.
Wow.
Last 10 week 1. Yep.
Couple things going on in this game. I think this is my number 1 pick for the overreaction game. Whatever happens in this game, massive overreaction, right? Richardson kills Houston, and he's awesome. And they beat Houston. It's just Richardson day the next day.
Right. Houston
takes care of business, beats the Colts again in Indy, and then and CJ Stroud looks awesome. A lot of buzz that way, but then also Richardson doesn't look good, and then it's like, oh no, Richardson, are we sure he's good? It just feels like whatever happens, there's going to be an overreaction. People are banged up on both sides here because Texans pass rush is banged up. Indy's got some receivers. Indy didn't change their secondary from last year, which I thought was interesting because I was reading about the games last year and they're just like, we're running it back, even though CJ Stroud did what he wanted against them. But I'm probably going to bet Houston on this game, by the way.
Yeah, well, if it stays under 3, right, that might be the way to go. We like them better than the Colts this year. So 0-9-1 is tough.
Here's another one I'm probably going to bet. Miami home for the Jaguars. I initially picked Dolphins -4. There's been some injuries on the Dolphins side. What'd you have?
I had 3.5, and it's down to 3. So I get that one.
I feel like
that's a good one.
I feel like you're cheating.
No. You're the one who sees the NFL Reddit teams. I don't do any of that stuff.
So Miami's missing Chubb. They're missing Odell Beckham. Barrios might have to play third receiver. They're missing their left guard. Their D-backs are banged up. Waddle and Tyreek are both questionable right now, but probably playing. And odds are it's going to be fucking hot there, which it's the Florida team, so they'll be fine. But I'm going to make a note this year for week 1 too, because we always forget. when it's 85, 90, and 100% humidity. I always remember after the fact. I don't know who that's going to hurt, but I'm in on the Jags. I could see spending some betting money on them.
Well, I don't know if who's going to hurt either, but when it's like 140% humidity, I don't think you could make it higher than 3 with 2 decent teams.
Just don't know.
Yeah.
Fairly watchables. You could tell me if any of these should have been in the other category, but Bears Titans I put in there just because Caleb's first game. I'm interested. I want to know how it looks. Want to see if they whip it around. I had the Bears -3.5 at home against the Titans. Would you?
I went a little higher and I win this. I said 4 and it's 4.5.
Yeah. So we're in the Vegas zone.
Well, this is the first week. You accuse me of cheating, but I do use the over/under win totals to decide what I'm going to pick for a line. And the Bears are considerably, expected to do better than the Titans. So I had to put it in the Vegas zone.
Feels like either Monday morning, Sunday night, Chicago fans over the moon, going nuts, how good they looked, or it gets dark immediately.
Right.
This is another overreaction candidate, but it's only really for the Bears. I don't think anything could happen with the Titans. That would make people crazy. But there's 2 worlds with the Bears, and one of them is going to be extreme.
Yeah, it's a must-win for the Bears.
It kind of is.
It's a week 1 must-win.
Yeah, it's one of their must winners.
By the way, I know we needed a Friday game to make this work, but 8 early, 4 afternoon, 1 Sunday night, 1 Monday. Let's just stick to this, please. When there's no buys, please, let's stick to this.
Well, it gets worse. Don't we have a 10 and a 3 coming up, or a 10 and a 2?
There's 2 10s in there, and it's like I think Scott Hansen came on. They changed it because of red zone watchers. They're like, well, we can't have 2 late afternoon games with the red zone. Like, what about us, the old schoolers who actually watch all of these? Like, why did it have to take red zone to make a move here? Anyway,
your game's late, right? Because I feel like they want to drive people to your game late.
Cowboys are late afternoon.
Yeah,
yep.
They want people watching Brady.
Yeah.
So next one is Falcons Steelers, which initially I had in the watchables, but the more you read about the Steelers offense, there's a better chance it's going to be unwatchable. I texted you before, and I was like, if you had one regret, one possible do-over from our over-under pod.
Just Steelers, you said?
It seems like everyone's out on the Steelers.
What happened between Tuesday and Sunday?
Well, their offensive line is, I think, in shambles.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Jalen Warren's hurt. This is like, I kind of needed them to win this game as part of my over-under, and it feels like this is a horrible spot for them. They have the Arthur Smith revenge game because he's their offensive coordinator now.
Yep.
But it just feels like their offensive line has kind of passed the point of no return. That was one of the reasons I liked them this season. They drafted, they spent on it, but they've had bad luck all over the place. So this is another overreaction possibility because you could see the Steelers just not being able to do anything. Judon gets a sack, like Simmons makes a play, and there's Raheem Morris is jumping around, fist pumping, and the Falcons win like 30-3.
Cousins is back. The NFC South is for real. Yep.
I will say, Pitt might be the nobody believes in us team. Everyone's out on them. I think I'm the only one that picked them in the playoffs. If there's anyone else out there who, like, everyone's like out on them. Like, even on the Ringer pods, like DeBundo and Austin Gale on Friday on the Bread Zone on Ringer Gambling, like just like destroying Pittsburgh. On your pod, like, who likes Pittsburgh? Anybody?
I would have. You know what it is that I think we talked about it. You look at their schedule. You just can't come up for air. You can't just do it. There's no 2 weeks in a row where it's like, oh, okay, So on the other hand, they're going to be in every game. They just kind of are. They'll get blown out once, maybe twice. But this is otherwise. It's just a knuckleball 19-17 fourth quarter kind of thing.
I feel like I still feel like people are glossing over the defense, but you're going to be asking a lot.
Yeah, if it's healthy, they're great.
The over-under on this game is 40.5. And this game feels so undery to me.
Yeah, right.
It's just, are the Steelers going to score, 17 points? I don't see it. Okay.
Did you? We didn't pick it, though. You didn't pick the...
We didn't pick it?
I probably should have picked
it. Falcon. I had Falcons -3.5 in Atlanta.
Yeah. So I said 2.5, and it's 3.
Okay.
Which is probably where it should be.
Yeah. I think that shifts up by Sunday. I think that ends up at 3.5, don't you?
Oh, man.
I don't see a lot of Pitt money coming in. Everyone's out on Pitt. All the advanced metrics, they're all like, we're out.
I think it stays.
Mike Tomlin, I believe in you still.
I can't believe you want a mulligan for our.
I didn't say mulligan. I said if we're on the record. I'm saying if I could have a mulligan.
I see. All right.
I think I would switch Pittsburgh and Buffalo as my playoff team. And I think I would put Buffalo in the playoffs. But I don't have a mulligan, so I'm going to ride with what brought me. Man. Yeah, I know.
Posted.
Chargers, Raiders. Could argue this is a watchable just because there's so much going on. But I picked, it's in LA, which is usually a good thing for the team that's the home team. But in this case, the Raiders will probably have 40,000 fans there. Mm-hmm. I am not scared. I have Chargers by 2.5.
I got this exactly. I said 3.5. So they don't believe in the, again, I was just going by the over-under win things, but you're right. There's no home advantage at all. It's a disadvantage in this case.
This is 3.5 now? I thought it was 2.5.
I looked 10 minutes before we went.
Oh, it's up to 3.5. Wow.
Yeah.
Did that move in the last 12 hours?
I didn't check honestly until this morning.
I think it moved.
This is a Nance Romo game.
There's some good storylines for this. Yeah, because Harbaugh, they played in December and the Raiders beat them 63-21. And they ended up firing Staley. That was Easton Stick. They ran it up.
Right.
And I'm thinking of Harbaugh this whole week, just doing the last time we played these guys, they embarrassed you.
Right. That was a Thursday night. But yeah, I thought they'd get a better game. But then you look at it, it's like, I guess nothing else really makes sense. So.
I think Harbaugh's first game is a good game.
Yeah. All right.
This might be a Chargers defense wins it by itself game. Adams and Bowers are both questionable for the game. Right. You got Harbaugh versus Antonio Pierce. Mm-hmm. That'll be fun.
Look,
I like the Chargers.
I love every single one of them.
You're beating me and guess the lines, which I don't like.
Yeah.
That last one is Bucks at home for the Washington Commanders, and I bet on Bucks -3 for this one. What'd you have?
We both had. I had 3 also. It's 3.5.
Yeah.
So we tie that. That's tough.
So this is a humid weather game.
What do you mean?
If it's in Tampa and it could be
humid weather. Weather.
This could be one of those. Oh my God! Not that Washington is a walk in the park anyway, but this is a complete stay away from me. I want to watch Washington for a week. I'm not betting on them. We have no idea how bad their defense is. I'm staying away.
I think it's going to be fun for Jaden Daniels, but I'm not sure.
It'll be fun. I'll root for him. I don't want money on it. Poop Fecta, Bengals versus the Pats. It's in Cincinnati. It's our first Poop Fecta game. I have the Cincinnati Bengals by 10.
I said 9 and it's 9.5. So we tie that.
Split. Okay.
I'm taking the Patriots in the points. I think Zach Taylor's still vacationing in early September. They got killed by the Browns last year, their first game. They lost to the Steelers.
Burrow was hurt.
He was hurt.
Last
to the
year,
Steelers
first game.
in overtime 2 years ago. The Chase even playing. You manipulated Hench to trade him Jamar Chase, who's in street clothes.
Oh, in our keeper league, I did do that.
Not sure what's going to happen.
So since he's missing their left tackle and they don't know if they're going to be missing Chase or not, the Patriots are missing talent on both sides of the ball. I saw that in the injury report. The Patriots are like, we have a good secondary. Does that help us?
The talent's not even day to day. They're just out, huh?
I don't see a scenario where the Pats hang in this game.
Who'd you tease them with?
Oh,
I don't think you ever told me.
Who have I not teased them with? No,
every single thing.
I like them with the Packers. I like the Packers getting points in that Brazil game. And I did something with the Lions too.
All right.
That first one. Anyway.
Not bad.
Vikings Giants in New Jersey. I have the Vikings somehow. Maybe the only time this year they'll be favored. Vikings -1.5 over the Giants.
Well, is that what you have? I thought you said the Giants favorite. Yeah, you get this then. Either way, I had the Giants by 2.5, and you're right. It's the Vikings on the road, favored by 1.5. Did I F this up?
No.
Who's home?
No, the Giants are home.
What? What's going on? They're not favored?
The Giants are home. They stink. And I think part of this is that I don't know if the Giants have a home field advantage.
This is very bad news for Danny Dimes if he can't be favored over
Their
Sam
offensive line not only sucks, but is banged up. Their linebackers are super banged up. Their DBs are bad, so we might have a good Jefferson game. They're going to be booing Danny Dimes from the moment he shows up. Minnesota's missing Hawkinson for 4 weeks, and Addison looks like he's out. But I still like the Vikings. By the way, I would not bet on this game because if you bet on this game, you're betting on Sam Darnold playing in the old Giant Stadium. This is a fucking stay away.
Oh, the ghost and everything. Yeah,
you can't do it.
The Vikings were all right. So this is how I did the lines week 1. Over 7.5. Giants 6.5. Giants are home, but you say no home field advantage.
And they're bad, and they have more injuries.
New logo at midfield. All right.
The only thing I would bet on is the New Jersey turf will do something awful in this game. That seems to be a September tradition. The turf eats somebody
Justin
up.
Jefferson again. Sorry.
We don't need to spend a lot of time on Saints-Panthers, which is in New Orleans. A lot of injuries on both ways.
Well, the league sent out a memo before we guess a line on this and said there's no way to bet and win this game. So stay away. There's just no, they went all different ways, but can't do it.
I had the Saints -6, which was off. What'd you have?
Yeah, I went high too, 5.5, but it's 4.5. Vegas zone.
Vegas zone. Both teams have a bunch of injuries already. The thing for me and why I kept looking at the Panthers is I'm not sure New Orleans is going to have a home field advantage this year because of how unpopular Carr is. And just in general, the fans, I think, are pretty mad about this team and what's happened with it.
Right.
And it does feel like Bryce comes out, does something. They're up 7-0. Carr throws a pick. And I think the crowd turns immediately. So it's almost like that first quarter is going to be where it goes. Yeah.
Wow. Panthers first quarter. Let's bet it.
The Panthers money line, I think is enticing. And I think that line drops. I think that goes. I wouldn't bet it, but I would bet the money line, not the line.
Again, the league sent out a memo.
I know. I'm just saying, if you're betting this game, bet the money line. Throw out the points. Last one, Seahawks home for the Denver Broncos. I kind of wish these two teams weren't playing each other because I like both of them. I had the Seahawks
AFC West battle.
Yeah, I had Seahawks -4.
You get this. I said 3.5. It's 5.5.
Yeah, we moved Vegas on you.
Let me count these up. 7.
I'm coming back a little bit.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
This is where you make a mistake.
You can do your comeback next week. It's 11-7. 1, 2, 3.
I'm not winning them.
Yeah. All right. Good. I told you this is the only one I win. All right.
I'm going to try hard not to put the Seahawks in a teaser or parlay.
Yeah.
I think this line feels a whiff too high, but it is a rookie quarterback on the road in Seattle.
Are we going to see a stat any day now about rookie quarterbacks on the road against the spread?
Yeah,
all that stuff. Yeah.
With not exactly a bevy of skill position guys, but Tyler Lockett's banged up. They're missing a pass rusher, but otherwise Seattle looks pretty good. Okay, 2 more, and these are both great ones. Sunday night, Detroit, home for the Rams. Oh my God. We talked to Jared Goff. That guy is so happy. He has no ill feelings against the Rams, Mike. He's happy for everybody. It worked out for him.
Did you know Matthew Stafford used to play for the Lions, dude? Did you even know that, Mike?
But these guys played on each other's teams. There's no animosity. It's great, Mike. Rams left tackle is out. They have a guard playing center.
Mm-hmm.
Nakua's still banged up.
Yeah.
Detroit's healthy. Rams almost beat them in round 1 last year. To me, this is like, if you believe in the Lions, you got to fucking bet them this game.
You have to take them. Yeah.
You have to bet them. This is like, if you think they're a 1 seed and they're all the shit they're going to do, like, this is a game. Take care of business, take the lead, keep the foot in the pedal and go. Monday night.
Well, the line we didn't guess it, but it scares me, this line. We both said
Did we not
4.5.
get? So I'm just setting up these games, and we're not actually guessing the lines.
Whole new thing this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my mojo back.
Guess which lines we're going to guess, because we're not going to guess all
I'm just
of them.
moving on. You don't even get to guess the line.
Yeah.
I guess Lions -4.5 over the Rams.
Yeah, so we both did, and we both like the Lions. Why is it 3.5? It's a little bit fishy. Tiny bit fishy.
Little fishy.
Like, what was the playoffs? The playoff game when they good deal higher than that, wasn't it?
I think people are afraid of the Rams now. They've just burned too many people over.
Maybe.
They're like one of those boxers. Nobody wants to fight anymore.
Right.
You know, it's like, give McVay like 6 guys and somebody could throw the ball and he could try to almost beat you. Monday night, great game. San Francisco 49ers home for the New York Football Jets. I picked 49ers by 4.5.
Yeah, I said 4 because there's so much Jets love here.
Yeah.
And the 49ers are a little banged up too. And it's 3.5.
Yeah.
So I get that. I get the week. Look at that.
That line was 4.5 8-9 days ago after I guessed the lines and sent them to you. Yeah. Well, when I guessed them, it was, but now it is what it is. But, and I was like, do I need to put something in on this? Because I know that's going to drop. And now, Greenlaw's out. McCaffrey's still hurt. Hufanga might play, might not. Warner's banged up. Leonard Floyd's banged up. Ricky Pearsall is obviously not playing.
Yep.
Trent Williams is holding out. We have no idea if we're going to see him. Ayuk has had a fucked up offseason, and I guess he's going to play, but
you get a free 4 plays out of Rodgers, like no question about it. He's definitely going to get in there for 4.
Yeah, we know this will be the healthiest the Jets will be all year.
Right. Yeah.
I really like the spot for them, and the Jets they just have a ton of talent. I don't think they're going to be afraid of this game. And and if you like the Jets and you don't like the Niners that much, then you got to bet this game. That's it. Guess the lines. You're up. You're up. As always, you're up 1-0 in week 1 of the NFL season.
I know. I think I was like minus 650 to take the first week. And then the over-under wins go away, and there's nothing I could do.